This is a HeadGum podcast.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first.
Like, to check and see if your favorite breakfast cereal is getting discontinued. If so, it may be time to stock up on those brightly colored, berry-flavored O's.
Checking first is smart, so check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Savings vary subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Handsome, chatting with friends on the Handsome Pod. Chatting with friends on the Handsome Pod.
Pretty little episode.
Girl.
It got me again. Every time I hear the chatting with friends, I try and pick out each voice.
Oh,
and
really?
I never can.
Yeah, we've become one organism, kind of.
Yeah. I mean, I'm typically pretty good at isolating vocals and picking out different instruments when I'm listening to something.
Right.
But I can't in ours.
I think that's beautiful. How are you, Tig?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm well. I'm in Toronto.
Yeah.
In this very brightly lit kind of Severance-y office room. I'm in the edit. I just had to do ADR, record my audio for a big fight scene and a big sex scene. It was humiliating. I made everybody turn and face the wall.
Wow. So wait, is it giving away too much, I guess, if you're tell me who you're fighting with?
Yeah, I can't say who I'm fighting with, but I get tased. I think I talked about this on the pod, and I was so embarrassed by my tased acting and especially the noise. So this was my second shot at it.
Okay.
And
what was the noise, and then what is the replace noise? Let's hear it.
Okay, what it was it was really not good. And then what it became.
And what did you base that on? Did you look up people getting tased and noises they made or anything like that?
Well, I looked at videos and I saw the physicality, but they don't really make noises. Your body's all frozen up.
Oh, so you're silent when you're tased.
Maybe. Yeah. But then today I tried a new noise, which is more like.
And who's deciding? Who has the experience of knowing the sound of a tased person?
All I know is that the sound team here were like, you got to do this again.
Yeah.
And I think people seem happy with the second round.
Okay.
And then the sex scene was really embarrassing. I had to turn the lights off in the studio, basically, in my little booth.
That sounds sexy right away.
It was pretty sexy, yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then I had to do all this heavy breathing. And I thought it would be really funny if I ADR'd crazy sex noises as a joke. But
do you want to explain to people what ADR is in case they maybe don't know?
If there's a sound problem when you're recording, or if you want to add a line or something, you go in and record your audio and your dialogue. But often it's just breathing, or I can imagine when you have to do a running scene or something and then you have to ADR all your panting. Do you do that?
Yeah. I was just about to act that out, that sometimes you have to go in and be like,
yeah. And move your
I don't
arms
even know
around.
if I really make noise. I don't know when the last time I ran was, but I don't know that I don't know if I make those noises.
I don't think anyone does, but then I guess for storytelling, they're like, just go for it.
Especially in a cartoon, it feels better if I'm doing that, if I'm voicing a cartoon and you have to do the and then it's okay, you're now putting something up on a very heavy box on a shelf. Yeah. What is that?
Oh, that was just a boing, like a cartoon boing.
But if you're lifting a box onto a shelf.
But then you might drop it on a trampoline.
Of course. Yes. We watch the same cartoon, apparently.
Yes.
But I want to go back to your sex scene. Was that more uncomfortable to do the ADR for the sex scene than it was to do the actual sex scene?
Sort of, because at least you know, when you're doing it, the adrenaline's going. You're like, I gotta just do this and there's another person you're ideally in the moment with, but this is like, there's a guy with headphones eating a sandwich
Yeah.
at the next desk. And yeah, just watching yourself as well as hell.
And how did you feel watching yourself? Was it titillating?
Titillating, no, but I hope it is for others. It's kind of a wild scene. Yeah, I think it will be okay. I don't know.
And how many sex scenes have you done in your career thus
I would
far?
say I did about 4 in Feel Good and then 1 in this show. So
And does it get easier?
That's 5 in total. Yes, absolutely. And also that I feel more confident in my bod now, you know?
Yeah.
What about you? Have you ever done like a full?
No, nor would I.
Really?
Oh my, no, thank you.
I wouldn't mind seeing it. I think you'd be great.
Oh, well, you are kind, but also back off. Yeah, I remember, I think Stephanie and I, the most that went down on One Mississippi was kissing.
Right.
And that's the only, any kind of interaction I've had.
Was with your very own wife.
Was with my own person. And that was even uncomfortable for me because I'm not like a very
PDA.
No, I'm just not.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, it is just weird. There's a whole crew, but I don't mind it.
Wait, a whole crew. What? But like for PDA in life.
Oh,
are you PDA in life?
I'm a very like hand-holdy, hand on the leg, hand on the back, but I'm not like kissing a bunch in front of people. I don't like that.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, but I like to have a bit of contact.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know,
just a hey, I'm over here.
Hello,
it's me, the one you love. Well, I can't wait to see.
Thanks.
I cannot wait to see. Can you tell us if you win the fight?
Oh, I do win the fight, actually. Yeah.
Oh, spoiler.
Yeah. There's a couple fights.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm excited for you guys to see it. I hope you like it.
Yeah.
I feel like Thomas might like it because it's set in 2003 and there's a lot of Canadian music in it from that era, which is really my era, like Canadian indie music, you know.
2003.
Yeah, I love that year.
I'm really excited. Any bare naked ladies in there?
No, but you got some Tragically Hip.
Okay,
you got some Sam Roberts. Oh my God, bare naked ladies, like at a really dramatic moment. It's been 1 week since.
Or during the sex scene.
Yeah. It's been.
It's been. Boy, they really had a massive explosion, didn't they? When they.
Because they made it down to the States, right? Like.
Oh yeah. And they just had such a different vibe. I guess that vibe was Canadian. I was truly like, what is this?
Yeah.
I enjoyed them very much. I just had not experienced
that like silliness.
Yeah,
very silly.
Yeah.
What were you doing this morning?
What was I doing this morning? We dropped off, Max and Finn at their school. And then I had to edit this thing for a charity event that I'm involved with that I have to announce. I had a doctor's appointment.
Love it.
Yeah, love. And physical therapy.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Does that feel good? Physical therapy? Like.
Yeah, it feels really good. It's making me feel like, I should get more into strength training because it's hard.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's not hard for you because you can do push-ups with me on your back.
I couldn't even do one, but I could at least do a plank.
I mean, I was really impressed.
Really?
Absolutely. I mean, if you sat on my lap, I would, I'm just, I need to definitely work on my strength training.
The thing I hate doing is legs. Like I like doing upper body stuff and trying to look strong, but my legs are like little twigs. They're very weak. And I went rock climbing. I went bouldering.
I love bouldering.
Yes, and I didn't realize it's all legs. Like you're meant to be pushing with your legs. Anyway, I was just quivering.
Where were you bouldering?
Echo Park, there's a place, an indoor place with a bunch
Oh.
of walls. But the crowd there, like the bouldering scene, is like a lot of guys with ponytails, a lot of those stringy little guys who are coming up. I was like trying to do something, and then this guy comes up. He's got braces. He looks about 12. And he's like, "Yeah, what you want to do is get your foot in the crevice there," and then like boots me off basically and takes over.
I remember I went, where was I? I was in the Arches in Utah in the
Oh,
Canyonlands, and I was camping with these friends of mine, Mike and Micah. Mike was my friend, and Micah I knew through Mike, and the three of us had gone to Utah to camp, and we went bouldering out there, and
On like real boulders.
oh, we went real bouldering, like through really tiny crevices, just like shimmying up and down. And I remember I was on top of this massive boulder, and they had made their way down, and they were like, just slide, just slide. It was so precarious that it wasn't. It just wasn't totally straightforward for me to get down off of this boulder. So I slid down, and it completely, I lost the entire backside of my jeans.
Oh my God.
And I had the rest of the day to boulder with these guys with my,
Your
half
shiny red bum hanging out.
Yes, yeah. And we were so far from our campsite that there was nothing that I could do. It was
Oh my God.
yeah, it was a bit of a damper on the bouldering day.
I mean, I was like visualizing that in my head, but in my head when I pictured it, it was a cartoon. It was like,
it basically was.
such a cartoony moment.
Yeah.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first.
Like, to check that you've got some bubble bath solution before pouring that bath. It's always nice to have some bubbles in the bath, if at all possible.
Checking first is smart, so check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois. Well, listen, should we find out what our listeners want to know
I think we
about us?
should. That's why we're here, so let's give them what they want.
Yeah.
Hi, Handsome Podcast. My name is Marky, and I have a question for y'all. Since May is a fan of escape rooms, what theme would your escape room be, and what would be the key to getting out?
Well, I've done, I would have said Titanic, which feels fucked up because it's a real life tragedy. But then I recently did a Titanic escape room that was so epic because I think there's nothing scarier than the idea of like water rushing in and trying to get yeah. So I would have said Titanic, but it's not a very whimsical, joyful idea. What about you?
I really don't know. I mean, you're just like in
Like a themed world, like you might be in Jurassic Park, or you might be in Sherlock Holmes's study, Mr. Something like that, or an Inca ruin. What about an insane asylum? Like I've never been in an escape room where you start in a padded room in a straitjacket, and you go, where are the clues? What am I supposed to solve? And then maybe there's like you find a pin hidden in the padded walls, and you use that.
Here's my question. I have really bad claustrophobia. Would this be bad for claustrophobia? Like if you didn't feel like you could get out?
The straitjacket would be a problem for you, I think. But generally, I think you'd be okay. You're in a room. You know that the door's not really locked. You're not like...
Okay, because we were on... This is how bad my claustrophobia is. We were in Chicago on spring break, as you do.
Yeah.
And there was a submarine that was indoors, no water.
Yeah.
No locking door. I stepped onto the submarine, and the guide started just talking about, and I went, okay, like I couldn't even talk. my mind went so far into the future of like, or the past or wherever, it just was not there.
Yeah.
And I imagined being in the submarine, like underwater for months, which is apparently what happens. That's how you train above water, and then you go into a submarine for the first time and you go away for months. So
there's got to be a better way. That's insane. That people are going for months in tiny submarines.
So that I wouldn't have ever thought that something like that would be a problem for me until this spring break, when I was like, wow, I know I'm not really submerged.
But your fight or flight kicked in.
Yeah, it really kicked in. But who cares? That's my issue. And you know what? Maybe what I would do is I would be, again, I don't really know what I'm referencing.
Right.
What about like a school or college or something that I want to get out of? Would that
Yeah,
make
I don't mind
sense?
that. There'd have to be like a plot element where you're trapped in there, like.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like
because I felt trapped in school.
Yeah, emotionally.
Yeah,
it's
everything.
an emotional escape room. Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you give me an option? I guess you rattled off a few.
Titanic, insane asylum, prison. What are some good ones I've done?
Oh, you've done all of those.
I've done all those. Actually, you know what? Lisa Gilroy, our friend of the pod, she went to visit the pyramids in Egypt, and she went into the Great Pyramid, and you have to walk through a tiny tunnel into the pyramid. And she said, like, halfway through, she realized there's a line of people in front of her, a line of people behind her, like, you can't go back. And she was panicking, and that's my hell. I'm also.
So is that claustrophobia?
Yeah. That's bad.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I think we should do insane asylum, but you could be one of the orderlies. You could be like you could be nurse Ratchet. Yeah.
I'm down. Sorry to complicate that.
No, I love it.
I just want to know what I'm in for.
I'm going to find a really spacious escape room and take you.
Are there tiny hallway room escape rooms where they should do a claustrophobia escape room?
Oh, Christ. I mean, I'm saying that, but I would do it in a heartbeat, but I'd hate it. I'd hate every second of it.
Oh my gosh. I can't even think about it. Let's move on.
Yeah. Oh, let's hear Marky's answer.
Yeah. What's Marky up to?
My escape room theme would be similar to an episode of Double Dare, where guests climb and search giant cat towers and sift through litter to find 3 flags to open the door to get out or something. Okay, thanks. And what a podcast. Cheers.
What a podcast. Wait, that was really thought out. She's like, or something like that. But I like that.
Why don't you start a business doing?
Don't tempt me. I want to pack it all in and just do escape rooms. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that what, if you could leave your career, is that what you would do? Is start an escape room company?
Immersive theater / escape rooms. But I like the idea of that Marky had of being shrunk down almost, where you're cat size and you're going through big things of litter. That's cool.
Yeah. Thank you, Marky.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Marky.
Thank you so much. What a question.
What a question. What a Marky.
What a Marky.
Should we hear another one?
I think we should.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Hello, handsomes. My pretty little ladies and thadies. My name is Nikki, and I'm from Chicago. Longtime listener, first-time question recorder. I'm a huge fan of all of y'all, and my question is, what is the most beautiful place that you have ever been to?
Oh, great question.
Yeah, that's hard.
Did something jump into your mind?
I mean, there's so many places. I love the Pacific Coast Highway.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm just right. I mean, I've been to New Zealand, the black sand beaches of New Zealand. Have you been to New Zealand?
No, never. I would love to, because I love Lord of the Rings, and that's where Hobbiton is.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. That might make you claustrophobic. Little hobbit homes.
Yeah, I don't think I'm cut out for the hobbitry. But,
okay, so New Zealand for you.
You know, I love the Rocky Mountains.
Okay, there's a theme here that you're drawn to, like, mountainous rather than like white sand, blue water, Caribbean.
I certainly like blue water Caribbean.
Sure.
What is the most beautiful? That's not fair. What is your answer?
I'm gonna say when I went to Nepal, there's a city in Nepal called Pokhara that's
Mhm.
like around a lake and snow-capped Himalayas all around it, and it's got these like jacaranda trees that were
Mm,
when they're in bloom are like so perfumey and beautiful, and
yeah.
it just looks like it's post like a fake place. It looks
Mhm.
like Disney. Um, so Pokhara and also Iceland. When you were talking about black sand beaches, like
Mm.
Iceland just looks like Mars, and there's like hot springs and northern lights, and
I
yeah,
want to go there so bad.
really,
Yeah, I do.
you'd love
Um,
it.
Stephanie and I were walking past these flowers this morning, and I was like, "Oh, look how beautiful those flowers are." And she stopped and was like, "Whoa, these look like this looks like when you're on drugs looking at something." They
Yeah,
were so beautiful, and it's crazy how. I mean, I'm going to say an obvious thing, but how nature is like that, where
yeah,
you can't make any sense of how beautiful something is. I'm going to go with the Rocky Mountains. I love a river. I love rivers
yeah,
so much. I love that there can be a shallow part of a river. I love that there can be a waterfall. I love that a river can pool. And
yeah,
there's so many options, and that you
yeah,
can have a sandy beach vibe on the side of a river.
yeah.
Um, yes, I'm gonna go with that. Beautiful flowers, beautiful mountains, unbelievable water.
But isn't
Um,
that crazy that like you just switched your awareness there and you were like, I'm gonna be really present and aware of the beauty of this flower, and then you feel like you're on drugs all the time. That's what like enlightened people must feel, or people who are really practice like mindfulness and stuff. It's like you can feel like you're tripping all the time because everything's so beautiful.
yes, yeah.
Yeah. I like the
Wow.
idea of the river that like a babbling brook. Nothing babbles except a brook. I can't.
Well,
Brook.
I know a few people that babble. I know some babblers.
Yeah, and babies,
Um,
I guess.
yes, babies, little babbling babies.
Should we hear
Um,
Nikki's answer?
yes, let's hear what Nikki has to say. I can't wait, but I'm gonna have to.
A place that really made you say, "Get out of town, Charlie Brown. This is crazy." Something like that. My answer is Rio de Janeiro. I went there last year with my best friend, who I've known since I was 3 years old, and we truly had the time of our lives. The horizons, the cascading mountains, the people. I mean, it truly was magic. Really looking forward to your answer, and I love you all so much. Have a good one.
Thanks,
We
Nikki.
love you too, Nikki. Thanks for listening. And I've never been there. Have you?
Never, and I've never said get out of town, Charlie Brown, but you better believe I'm gonna start.
Oh,
Rio
get
de
out of
Janeiro.
town, Charlie Brown. Yes.
Let me quickly Google it, because where is that? Brazil, Brazil. Because I'm
Max is
learning.
obsessed with Brazil.
Is he? Because I'm
Mhm.
learning all the capital cities now. I'm trying, and so I'm big
Just in your
into.
time off?
Yeah, like I'm every day. I'm like right now. I've got Europe down. I've done
Oh.
Europe, but it's Africa that's going to be hard because some of those words are really hard. And Asia, like
Mm-hmm.
yeah. But
And you fully have the others down.
I have Europe down because I've got all the countries.
Uh-huh.
And then I had like my most kind of spectrumy moment of my life where I was in the back of an Uber and the Uber driver was like, "Oh, I'm from Armenia," and I went, "Capital city, Yerevan,"
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, "What am I doing?" He was like, "Yep, that's right."
Oh my gosh, you would have a wonderful conversation with Finn because he loves geography
Really?
and he knows his countries, his capitals, all of that
That's
stuff.
awesome. It's
It,
really soothing to
yeah,
organize the world.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Finally, it's organized.
Finally.
Well, it was a wonderful experience seeing your mug again, and yeah,
Great to see your mug as always.
yeah. I hope you don't mind me calling it a mug.
No, I like it. It's
Yeah.
very New York 1950s.
70s?
Yeah,
oh, 50s.
70s.
50s to 70s.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for listening, and submit your questions at speakpipe.com/handsomepod.
Please.
Yeah, and tell your friends. Share episodes. Let's build the handsome community. And thank you so much for listening, everyone. And until next time, what do you say, May?
I think you better keep it pretty
handsome. Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first.
Like, to check and see if your favorite independent movie theater is screening anything interesting this week. Let's all support indie films together, please.
Checking first is smart, so check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
That was a HeadGum podcast.